ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to talk about Landline by Rowell. This was published in 2014 and has 308 pages. I was very kindly sent this edition by my friend Ashley from Seven Story. This is going to be completely off the cuff, so I hope that you can take something away from this. Landline tells the story of Georgie McCool. Georgie McCool is a 30-something-year-old mother who is a semi-successful television writer. Her life is pretty good, but the one thing that's failing is her marriage, or at least she thinks it is. While she is completely and totally in love with her husband of several years, she feels like they've grown apart. Christmas holidays are approaching and conflict grows whenever Georgie and her writing partner are offered the opportunity of a lifetime. They are offered the opportunity to write and pitch their own sitcom. They have been writing for a terrible show that neither of them are really passionate about, so this is the opportunity that they've been waiting for. The only catch is that in order to get this material done in time, she must stay and work through Christmas. Her husband has already had plans to go and see his family in Omaha, Nebraska. Instead of staying home with Georgie, he packs up the kids and heads out to the Midwest. And because her house seems empty and weird and she's constantly reminded of her marriage that may be failing, she decides to go and stay with her mom while her husband is away. While at her mom's, she tries incessantly to get a hold of her husband via their cell phones, with no avail. So, desperately, she pulls out an old yellow landline phone and tries to call her in-laws' landline to reach her husband. Surprisingly, Georgie doesn't reach her husband in the present. She reaches her husband from 15 years ago, just days before he was going to propose to be married to Georgie. And that's really all that you need to know about this novel. It is a contemporary adult novel. It is the second adult novel written by Rowell. You may be familiar with Rowell's work. Her first adult novel and her very first novel was Attachments. Her second novel was Eleanor and Park, and her third novel was Fangirl, which have all been kind of critically acclaimed in the booktube community. I found this book absolutely charming. It also read very much like her first adult book. I do feel like it is quite different from her young adult novels. Not completely different, and it's not just because of the content, but I feel a bigger similarity between this book and her other adult book than I do between this book and Eleanor and Park. That being said, I think that young adult readers of those books could enjoy this book. The only problem is that I know a lot of people found the characters and the situations within a little unrelatable because a lot of people who have read this book are not in their 30s or married. At least the people that I have heard talk about this book. While they're not in the exact same situation, there are aspects of all of Rowell's characters that are incredibly understanding and relatable, but also offer enough insight to allow someone who's not in the situation to learn something, which I can appreciate. But I did have a few problems with this book. Kind of the biggest problem with this book is that the element that ties the whole story together, this magical phone, is never entirely explained. But that doesn't bother me nearly as much as how the end kind of ties together. I feel like it was kind of rushed and didn't really answer the problem or the conflict of the whole novel. I feel like the whole conflict of the novel is this communication barrier between her husband and herself, which is obvious in the way that they can't connect with one another literally, but there's also some kind of disconnect that's not just because of technology. And I don't feel like it's fully addressed. I feel like everything just kind of happens and then it ends. But other than that, I feel like this book is a very heartwarming and lovely book. I kind of wish that this book had come out closer to Christmas, because there was no way I was going to get this book in June or July and wait all the way till December to read it. But I think that this will be a very charming book to read during the holiday season. I would also say that if you're looking to start reading Rowell, that I would not start with this book. I would actually say start with her young adult books and work your way out. And a little tiddly bit that I was totally unaware of and that I totally missed, that I only found out because I heard Jenny from Jellify mention in her review of Landline, or maybe it was a wrap-up. Anyway, there is a lovely little Easter egg at the end of this book. If you've read it and you didn't catch it, you should go back and find it. You have to have read all of her books. I won't tell you which ones because then obviously that's less fun. But I absolutely adore the nerdy elements that Rowell puts in all of her books. Easter eggs, it's like candy. Candy for nerds. I can't imagine someone who has read all of Rowell's books being disappointed in Landline. I hope that this off-the-cuff book talk was beneficial and maybe persuaded you to pick up Landline. As always, please feel free to share any of your thoughts on anything I said here today in the comments below, and I will see you soon with a new video.